you've been very, very open about your sobriety. The interviews that you did with Christian Simpson was unbelievable. It's something I've watched a ton of times, and I just have so much respect for coming out and saying that. I know there's a ton of people in the hockey world at every level that are struggling with mental health. There's people in the real world that are struggling with mental health, especially, over the last year and a half, there's a lot of issues with people, and it's something that you've spoke about. And that's something I've always wanted to shed light on this show is, when you're ripping these people on social media, when you're ripping these hockey players, when you're saying this, you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. There's so much more. Hockey's an hour a day, and there's 23 other hours to do other things. And you never really know what's going on with people. And, I just want you to talk about just like how it was. Like, I don't want you to go into, the whole story, but just kind of, how you saw it kind of like slipping away and how you made the change to be like, okay, I need to change this like right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I look back on it now and, I'm grateful for all the bad stuff that I went through and like everything that happened because it got me here. Right. And, I think, it was to the point where I think, when things are the way that I was, drinking and using and everything, it was not just affecting me, but it was affecting everybody else. It was affecting all my relationships. It was affecting everybody. And it really, my life became unmanageable. I couldn't manage my life. I couldn't, I was a mess, and, when you're done, you're done. And I think I was so tired and so exhausted, and I kind of just surrendered, man. I felt helpless, and I was like, I need help. I need to be done with this. I can't do it anymore. Because it was the only way I knew how to, like, mask pain is, by, drinking and using it, and that's what I tell everybody that's going through mental health or anything. It's like, asking for help is the bravest, most courageous thing you can do, because, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. And, for me, it was a journey, and it was something that, everyone finds out at different times, and everyone, I guess I was a slow learner, and it takes what it takes. And, but now looking back on it now, man, like I certainly wouldn't still be playing hockey if I was sober. I know that for a fact. I wouldn't even be talking to you guys right now. And everything that's happened for me, and the trajectory of everything that went on after I'd been sober, it's, I'm a better version of myself. I'm able to, just live life happier, and free. I think that's a big thing.
Right.
When you're going through stuff like that, you feel like you're a prisoner to it. And, now I feel like I'm free. And, I think that's a big thing and when I came out about it and was like open to it, to talking about my sobriety and everything that I've gone through, I was a little bit apprehensive at first, because I'm like, fuck, do I want to talk about this? Whatever.
Right.
And
For sure.
There's such a stigma about it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm like. And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I want to talk about this. This is, kind of a lot. And, but then after talking to some people about it and realizing, what, this is bigger than me. Like, by talking about this, if I can help one person, it's a win. And
Absolutely.
that's kind of the way I've gone about it since then, is, just by being open about it and talking about it, and, other people can relate, and they can, even not even, substance abuse. People that are going through mental health, I think, especially in the last year, like, the shit that people have had to go through. I know for myself, I've had tools and different things that I try to do to make sure that, I'm in a good headspace. But fuck, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not on a fucking pink cloud every day. Like I'm like there's
Yes,
like
that's good for
like
people to hear. It's not every day.
Yeah.
no,
It's not
like
peaches and roses every day.
yeah, like fuck, I'm sober and everything's good, but like man, like some days I'm like I'm not a good person to be around, or I'm fucking down in the dumps, like
Yeah,
that's just the way it goes. But if you can be like open about it and have some kind of tools or people to talk to or someone to go to,
right.
you'll get through it. You'll be okay. So I mean, I think I don't know where I was going with this, but it's just one of those things that it's definitely one of the for sure, but probably the biggest accomplishment I've I've did in my life. But for me, it's still it's not like I've graduated. I'm still in it. You know what I mean? I still
Yeah,
have to work every
yeah,
day, and it's like I'm still in recovery every single day. So
right.
it's still a constant thing. Like like as if I was working on my game. With hockey, I still have to work on my recovery and work on my mental health every day. It's just the way it goes. So, but I think the biggest thing is being able to talk about it, being open about it, and knowing that people, fuck, it's okay. Like everyone says, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
that's a great line. I love that line. I think it's so good. I think it's so hard. If we'll just talk strictly about hockey players, as like in the hockey world, like you're taught from it, like you don't say you're hurt, you don't say you're tired, you don't say you have anything wrong, and that's always just kind of been the way it is from the time you're younger. It's like you don't show any emotion, you don't show pain, and that's kind of the hockey culture. That's kind of what we grew up with, right? And it's kind of that's kind of the part of the problem.
It's not
I
good.
mean, it's that stigma. We're fucking badass hockey players that show up and do our thing, and that's it, and we're fine. But that's that's just not the case. That's not the world we live in anymore. And
It's a pipe dream.
yeah, no, exactly. So I think the league and NHLPA and everyone, I think everyone's going in a really good direction to try and change that. Even I think like I was so impressed even with our coaching staff and Paul Maurice, checking in with guys, making sure that like, are you good? Everything's okay. Like even with me, bringing me in and talking to me and being like, hey, if you ever want to talk at any time, call me at any time, like
Unreal.
that stuff.
Unreal.
Like,
that's great, man. That goes a long way.
It goes a long way when you have people in your corner and supporting you. You don't feel alone, and that's the biggest thing. Is people always feel like they're alone, and that's not the case.